Johnny Box. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is a perfect day for the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. The barometer is steady. We're going to get this one in. And, of course, this is show number 230. And, of course, behind the glass, your friend and mine, everybody's favorite World Wrestling Federation bullshit, Dave Sturcio, alongside the Jimmy Palumbo Show. What's up, Dave?
I was having a good morning, and then I got a call from Tom Baldinger, and basically telling me he cut me out of the entire thing. And
no, that's not.
Listen, some people don't want me on set. I get it. I pitched him a new idea. I
didn't talk to him yet. No, we're doing a whole.
Actually, the idea is pretty funny. We'll talk after.
All right.
I know the original concept with the Manganelli, and I get all that, but like I added a layer to it, and I think you're
all right. Well, I didn't talk to anybody about that, but that's fine.
Yeah, why would you talk to anybody about your own stuff?
Yeah, why would I talk about something about? But this show, of course, there's a lot of great stuff going on. But before we get to all that here, this is show number 230, and that means very simply, it's the Eddie Lopat show. Now, Eddie Lopat was a pitcher in the 50s, and the announcer used to say, "Steady, Eddie Lopat." That was Frank Messer doing the old timers games. And my buddy Eddie Driscoll, God rest his soul. I miss you, Eddie. I used to call him Eddie. Anyway, we also have Willie Randolph, number 30. Mel Stottlemyre, who many believe if he was on like the good Yankees, he would have been like a Cy Young winner. Running back for the Giants, Ron Johnson. You also got Charles Way. Your Cowboy Dan Reeves was number 30. Jason McCourty, a Rutgers guy, was number 30. Steph Curry, Nolan Ryan, George McGinnis in the NBA. I said that just for my brother. My brother right now he'll go, "Oh, I totally remember George McGinnis." And of course, Orlando Cepeda. Now the guy I left out is Dave Meggett, who I used to love on the Giants.
Look at that little Meggett run.
Okay, but listen to me, all my fans out there. Okay, I don't want to bring the show down by discussing Dave Meggett. Just please go to his Wikipedia page. This guy he doesn't get out of jail until 2034. And I know he got sexual assault and all that stuff, but there's like 9 of them were all thrown out of court. And this one finally stuck. This guy is a class A piece of shit. He's got to be, I swear to God, he's got to be the top New York star. I guess that's not OJ, but in other words, top New York star that everybody loved. And now it's like, you can't even say.
Then that's OJ.
New York guy. I mean, Buffalo, I guess. But you got to anybody just do 5-minute research on Dave Meggett. You're going to go, "Oh, Jesus Christ." This guy, and he's got 9 kids with 8 women. That's all I'm going to say to start things off.
Solid swimmers.
So that's it. Show number 230, Orlando Cepeda. I said that one for Artie Lang, which if he was listening, he would laugh at that. And, of course, the baseball card segment of the show. Now, this guy, I'm going to call this guy the number 1 rumor guy for all you Yankee fans. And his name is your friend and mine, Butch Weiniger.
Why do I feel like you've said that name a million times?
Because I say that Butch. I say the name Butch Weiniger at least 10 times a day walking around the house. He was a catcher, played from 76 to 88. He's 69 years old now. Lifetime batting average 255, so he'd be making $40 million. He'd be making Soto and Lindor money. He had lifetime only 65 home runs, 506 RBIs. He was known as a defensive catcher. He played with the Twins, the Yankees, and the Angels. His best year, I'm guessing his best year was 79 with the Twins. He batted 270. But with the Yankees in 83, he batted 296. He was pretty good. And, of course, what I love about him, and I know, Dave, you're going to love this, he was involved in 2 trades. One had the word cash in it, and the other one had a player to be named. I'm infatuated with the player to be named later. I think it's the funniest thing ever.
That would be a fantastic name of a film.
Yeah,
like
player
just
to
the
be named
journey, a
later.
player to be named later. That's
You know
it.
what? That's how I feel I am right now in showbiz. Player to be named later. And it was, by the way, it was the other thing is what's great about baseballreference.com. They let you know when it gets completed. So this one was 6 months later, which
Wow.
I still stick to my guns. Someone at the office, hey, wait, you know they forgot about the trade. It's like, who gets like? I think there's some teams like if we don't say anything, we don't have to give them anybody. It's almost like,
Right.
hey, you owe us somebody. I still think that's hysterical. He made around $500,000 to $700K. So he was like a decent paid catcher. Couple of weird things though. Of course, again, that's why I do this segment. Name the only catcher in the history of Major League Baseball to go from A ball to Major League Baseball.
Oh, wow.
Think about that for a second. A ball, that's low, man. And all of a sudden you're catching for the Twins. He caught Righetti's no-hitter in 83, July 4th. He caught Necro's 3,000th strikeout, and he also caught his 300th win. He walked away in 1986. He was depressed with the Yankees, hated Billy Martin, hated Lou Piniella. Like, he just hated everybody. And he walked away from $1.4 million, which was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
He ended up becoming a hitting coach with the Yankees, so on and so forth. But he really had severe depression. He just had to get out. But the rumor, first of all, he did get divorced from his wife in 88. And the rumor has always been that when he lost his mind because your friend and mine, Mr. Dave Winfield, who I believe was number 31, back on that next week. The rumor was that Dave Winfield was sleeping with his wife.
Oh, boy.
And he just lost his mind. And the Yankees were like, just go away, get away from us. We're not going to get rid of Dave Winfield, who's batting like 310 right now. I did some research on it, looked on Reddit. Nothing's proved. However, he did get divorced, and he's bitter over the money. She got like a beautiful ranch and horses, and he goes, I can't go to the ranch. So I just keep in touch with my kids. I write them letters.
Cheaper to keep her, guys. Cheaper to keep her.
But he ended up coming back to the Yankees, and he hitting coach from Scranton, Pennsylvania. But Butch Weiniger, decent catcher. A lot of Yankee fans remember him back in the day. So that is it. Now, we need Harry Carson on the show. Why do we need Harry Carson on the show? Because Patreon Day here at the stadium, we are at 52. And we need Mr. May.
Maybe sleeping with your wife. Johnny Bob.
There you go. Quick 3, Johnny Bach. We're not mired, but we're at 52. We could use a Harry Carson 53. I'm sure we'll get something very soon. But a shout out to my Patreon, Johnny Box, out of the box right there. Jeff Fulgione, and also Bob Sheehan. Colonia boy, give a shout out to those 3 guys right there.
I'd also like to give a shout out to the Johnny Box and Daryl Clark for joining my Patreon over the last week. So now I'm swimming in it, honestly.
You're rolling in the dough.
No, but seriously, that was the most gracious thing. And the Johnny Box hit me up with a DM explaining who he was and how he knew you and all this other shit. I was like, oh my God, this is like small world stuff. So very cool.
Very cool stuff. Johnny Box gets a shout out from the Jimmy Palumbo Show and Chop Sports and Dave Sergio here at Shea. But of course, me and Dave are always chasing miracles, and my guest that's coming on is also chasing miracles. More on that in a second. But if you go to chasingmiracles.com, Dave with the juice drink right there.
Made from the best stuff on earth.
Made from the best stuff on earth. The old one is low. They do these cell patches. I am wearing them right now. It is shit your body needs. It really helps you out. Really cool. Really helped my mom out and my next door neighbor. It helped out, which he might be ordering them. It repairs stem cells. The little patches look like Band-Aids. Put them on the back here and then right under your belly button. Boom, you're good to go. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. You could pee in a cup. It's nothing. It doesn't change any of your,
as soon as you put the patch on, it actually makes you pee in a cup.
It makes you. No, it doesn't
forcefully piss.
It helps all kinds of cell regeneration and all that stuff. Go to chasingmiracles.com.
Speaking of chasing miracles, I gotta give a shout out to both my kids overnight. Both kids woke up in the middle of the night, which normally would piss off any parent trying to deep sleep.
Yes.
Stella Rose woke up to go to the bathroom. And that's not happened before. Usually it's just like, let it flow, kid, but she got up and she was like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I was like, oh my God. And then
There you
Miles,
go.
I think like a little bit of a Shart situation where he was like, oh, like, I don't want to go in my diaper, so I'm also going to go in the toilet.
He went
Late night for the Sturchio house, but big accomplishments over here.
okay,
so I
but
they
woke you guys up though. At least,
oh yeah,
right?
oh yeah.
Yeah, before you know it, though, he's going to be going up. And the next thing you know, you'll be visiting colleges here, Jay. The funny thing is, you're going to be shitting yourself. That's so you're going to be
I'm going to need to wake up in the middle of the night
and piss and shit on yourself. And your daughter's going to come in and go,
those are the days.
This is so painful. All right, Dad, bend over. Let's wipe it up. Now, many of you know here from we posted something. There's a lot of interest in this little thing we're doing called Beer League, the series. And we put thing out for extras. So anybody out there that can make it, please go. I said although the weirdest thing was I put the post up with everything was in the post, all the information.
I know.
I got the messages saying, Jimmy, can I be in it? Can I do this? I'm like, did you not? Anyway,
it's called reading, top to bottom, left to right. Group of words make a sentence.
But wait a minute, though, Dave. You know me when it comes to social media. I was like, okay.
I knew directly. As soon as I saw it, I wanted to fucking DM you or text you because I think it was like when I saw it, it was like midnight, and I think you posted it like a half hour before that. So you're right on time about posting at 11:30 at night. Like, hey, anybody want to do extra work? But no, like I was getting mad because I was like, well, my friend already submitted and he heard nothing. So that's why I told Tom on the phone today. I was like, hey man, you guys are both putting out all this extra shit and the lady's not responding to anybody.
I think she just started that process today.
Yeah,
so
yeah, she is.
I'm
not good on waiting for anything. So
yeah, of course not. Well, you're waiting for the show to be successful. It's frustrating. So Jimmy Palumbo on a quick backdoor three.
Hey, first of all, last week's show is our highest watched show that we've had in I can't even tell you how long since the Artie Lang episode. So we had a decent view count last week.
We're finally getting maybe we're getting a little juice here, a little mojo. Of course, it'll probably go right down with the next guest. But
I was gonna say, I'm gonna text you Friday like small dip off.
That's not true though. I am actually unbelievable. So we're shooting. This will be the last show before we shoot Beer League, the series, next Monday and Tuesday, and we're gonna be doing a show hopefully Wednesday. I'll figure out your schedule, what time.
Yeah.
And we're really excited. The cast. We had the casting calls on Thursday. We got a new cast. We actually did a switcheroo. Natalie Vero is going to be, make sure I get the names right. I guess we could talk about this before we get our next guest on because it's critical. We have Lisa Giangrande, which I like that name, Gianabino. She will be playing the love interest. And then you got Natalie Vero, who played the love interest in the first go-around. She is now playing Rose, which is going to be Alphonse's girlfriend, and it's a really killer role for sure. And my son's going to be played by Francesco D'Onofrio. Francesco, if you're listening to this show, you made me laugh. Your audition was great. I laughed. I said, you know what? Let's have funny people on the set. And then, of course, your friend and mine, Dylan Hardigan, getting involved. He will be playing Manganelli's kid. So those are the kids we got. And of course, yours truly, Dave Sturgeon, will be playing Dave Destruction. And we're still crafting his role because it's hard in a pilot. But Dave just decided to take it up on his own to create his own role there.
Sometimes you got to do what we call in wrestling going business for yourself.
Okay, there you go. The name of the pilot is now being called Dave Sturgeon Plays Softball.
Listen,
I didn't agree.
I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to make money back for Mr. Sonkin. Okay.
So we got to get. So we're shooting next Monday and Tuesday in Flemington, New Jersey, at a really cool Elks Lodge. Should be fun. And our next guest is the reason why we are doing this. He is. Listen, the guy is from Queens, and when you're from Queens, you're automatically not a jerk off. Because my family's from Queens, and he's created a bunch of stuff. I guess I should just bring him around. Let's get David Sonkin on right now. David,
howdy. How you doing,
man? Everybody doesn't know David is the creator of 213 TV, and that's where our lovely pilot is going to reside. He's one of the new producers of the project. And David, I was looking up your stuff. I had read this a couple of years ago when I first met you, and I can't believe your involvement with like mobile apps and ticket stuff. That's awesome. Or does that read better than it is? I mean, it sounds really cool.
Well, these days everything reads better than it is.
Oh,
So I think, and I got to tell you before we get going, I was thinking to myself, how are you possibly going to transition this show to having anything to do with me? So well done, well done.
well,
Although
Transition day here.
I did wear my Yankees blue, which is almost Cowboys blue, and so I
okay.
really so I wanted to be a part of that.
No.
The answer to your question is yes, I was involved in all that mobile stuff. I was creating mobile websites at a time where nobody really knew what a mobile website was or why they needed one. But I did it for Broadway shows. I did it
That's
for
awesome.
colleges.
I saw you did it for the Phoenix Open, which is a big tournament now.
I did the world's largest attended golf tournament, I believe. And so, yeah, I created the first mobile website for a PGA Tour event. And this was even before the PGA was doing it themselves. So, yeah.
So that's just like it tracked like live stats as it happened and stuff like that. You mean?
Yeah, actually, at one point we had to slow down because we were putting out the scores. I was working from the green room at the actual event, and we were putting out the scores faster than everybody else, including.
Oh shit!
So you're the guy during draft day when they're like, "Oh, the pick is in." I'm like, "No, it's not. I'm watching TV. The pick's not in." Like, no, the pick is in.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So instead, I walked around the course and drank a little bit, and then I went back and posted the scores.
What part of Queens are you from?
Forest Hills, Rego Park, Forest Hills. I went to Forest Hills High School.
All right. Well, that's interesting. My dad's from Corona. My mom's from Astoria. And my mother-in-law is from Flushing. And also Forest Hills around there.
All family.
Kinds of, I got family involved in Queens here. That's very cool.
And they all became Yankee fans, Jimmy? Everybody from Queens?
Yeah. Well, there was no Mets back then.
There was no Mets. You're right at the time. You're right.
We're
dating
How many
ourselves.
Devils fans are there?
Yeah.
I grew up walking to Shea Stadium. So I was watching the Jets at Shea. So long time
so
ago.
you get when by the way, at Shea is a phrase I use 24/7. It means a shitty event because it's always like those bad Met games here at Shea, losing to the Braves. But now nobody knows, and people always go, "It's not Shea, it's Citi Field." Like, no, it's always Shea. Giant Stadium, Shea. I mean, I'd be mortified if the Yankees changed their stadium name. That would just, Anyway, well, listen, well, thank you, number one, for getting involved with Beer League, the series. Now, I'll do a shitty job of explaining this thing you're doing with 213 TV is fascinating to me in that it's simple and it's complex and it's different. So why don't you now take the time to explain to everybody once we'll be done with the editing in 2035, Tom? That's the Tom Baldinger. No, we hope to have everything done by October 1st or November 1st, everything in the can. And we're going to release it. So tell everybody when it's on how your whole thing works.
Sure. So first of all, you can go to it. It's just watch213.tv. That's the URL, watch213.tv.
Okay, we'll start putting that up on the what do you call it, on the show now,
so
top somewhere.
If you want to see Beer League, that's where you're going to go. Beer League, the series, is going to be there. So the site is, when you first look at it, it's a streaming site. That's your first impression. It looks a little bit different than other streaming sites because you've got a bunch of tiny little TV screens that are all playing loops of things that are showing. So it's a little bit different. But it's basically a three-sided marketplace for streaming. And what I mean by that is there's a value proposition for the viewer, there's a value proposition for the filmmaker, and there's a value proposition for media buyers. And so for the first time, we've created a platform where all three of those parts of the streaming ecosystem, the $500 billion streaming ecosystem, they can all live together in one place. And actually, there's a good value proposition for everybody. For the viewer, we're attacking their top pain points. There's no monthly subscription. They don't have to watch advertising. And they also are only going to see original content. So it's great for the viewer. For the filmmaker, they can submit their work, absolutely no charge. There's no charge to the filmmakers at any point for anything that we ever do for them. So there's no other shoe that's going to fall or anything like that. And so they can submit their work, and if we stream it, we actually pay to promote it, and we don't ask them for anything for that. As you will see with Beer League, because that will be promoted. And then once they're involved with 213, they can make more projects. And we've got filmmakers that are already lining up to make their second and third projects with us. And
Right.
so and then the last piece of the puzzle, which is extremely exciting, which is the buyer's side. So for the first time ever, a media buyer, let's say buyer from, major streaming platform, Netflix, Hulu, whatever, they can actually come to the site, they can sign up for a buyer account, and they can actually scroll through content and literally click one button and purchase the worldwide rights. So if somebody loves Beer League, the series, and they say, you know what, this is going to be a great show, they literally can click a button, and it's like buying sunglasses on Amazon. It's just that easy, changing the game.
Wow. That's that's very cool. I mean, as we're getting closer to shooting this thing, I've been thinking, me and Dave have been involved. You slap things on YouTube or whatever the hell, Vimeo and all that stuff. And what's cool for me, and even for the actors, less on the, there's a couple of aspects to it. As an actor, it's cool because other creative filmmakers and writers and industry people are watching this stuff, and they could see me personally. Jim, this guy Jimmy might be right for something I'm working on, and also to sell it, so we can get a few dollars to shoot more of these. There's that aspect of, and then it's also just part that I really like about it is it's not YouTube, because it seems like everybody and their brother. As a matter of fact, we maybe should put the Jimmy Palumbo Show on Watch 213. I know you're probably not doing podcasts yet, but
No, you should consider. I think Mark DiCarlo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark's
friends
got
of
an
mine.
interesting show that we're actually we've got two of his shows that are going to be coming up on the site, and one of them is actually we're going to be testing out going live with some of his stuff. So it's
Oh,
pretty cool.
okay.
Right.
Got a
Well, we
live
have
aspect.
to.
That's good. That's big.
We have to. I don't know how it would work, but I mean, let's see how everything goes. But yeah, maybe we'll be live from 213.
In other words, Jimmy wants to say, what else we got to fucking lose?
Well, there's all. Yeah, I mean, no, it's listen. I know you've been working on this a long time. This is not something you. Something you just threw together in a week.
Right. I got some questions though. Like, so you said, so this is basically for the indie promote, like the indie independent, I guess, producer or director.
Yeah, the emerging filmmakers is really what we were originally going for. Now it has turned into, we're getting some incredible content that's been sitting in people's virtual underwear drawer forever, sitting on YouTube,
right,
or whatever. YouTube is great for what it is, but with people uploading 500 hours of new content every minute of the day around the clock, it makes it a little difficult for your stuff to get found, and you have to figure out how to monetize it and everything. With our site, you don't have to do that. You just focus on creating, we'll take care of the rest.
So who exactly, or how exactly are you getting a monetization model? Is it based off of view time? Is it based off of just investors? How does that all work? So if Beer League, the series, is done, edited, it's now streaming on this platform. How does Jimmy and how do these guys make money directly? And like, this is just for the other producers and filmmakers out there who might be interested in joining your platform.
Sure. So there's a monetization side for the filmmakers, and then there's for the platform. The way that the platform generates money, it has 4 or 5 different revenue streams built into it. But the 2 primary revenue streams are that I said before that viewers don't have to pay them a subscription, and they don't. They literally are just paying for what they watch. So when you come on the site, we give you your first hour of watching for free. So you can go to the site and sign up for free, no credit card required. And then you buy packages of minutes. So a 1 hour package of minutes is $2.13. That may be coincidental, I'm not sure. So it's $2.13 for an hour pack of minutes. And then you can use that on whatever you want. You keep it for as long as you like. And the cost to watch is incredibly inexpensive. It's only 4 cents a minute to watch. So if somebody wants to watch a 9-minute episode, let's say that you got a Beer League episode that's 9 minutes long, they're going to pay 36 cents to watch that. And the breakdown of the way that the money works is the largest piece of that goes to the filmmaker, 35% of every dollar that comes in right off the top. And there's no weird, funky net margin marketing money. And so they get 35% of that. 30% of it goes to us to keep the lights on. 30% of it goes to an investment account that goes back to the viewer, and the viewer can then invest in an exclusive array of projects from independent filmmakers. So it's like an internal crowdfunding machine.
That's cool.
And then the last 5% we donate to regional live theaters around the country. And we've already been doing that for close to a year now, donating to theaters out there. And then
really
for the filmmakers, by the way, what's cool about the model for them is that, you know, so if somebody's got something that they've done, and let's say they've taken it to film festivals and they put it on YouTube, nothing's happened with it, and then they want to submit it to us, if we stream it, for 60 days, it's up there during a promotional period where nobody's making any money on it or anything. But if we decide that we're going to keep it past 60 days and the filmmaker wants it to stay on, then we give them an exclusive option for 18 months to put it in the marketplace. And we give them $80 per runtime minute. So if somebody's got a 10-minute short, we're going to give them $800 on day one. And that's, you know, there's no strings attached to that. We just give them that money. So eventually when you get, you know, when this really starts to take hold, we've gotten almost 5,000 film submissions right now from around the world. And we haven't barely even advertised the site yet. We're just starting to do that now. And actually, you'll see it in some movie theaters soon. You'll probably see one of those annoying ads before the movie plays. That'll be us.
Awesome.
We'll be one of those.
That's great.
Wow. What, how do you now, okay, I've talked to some people that have ran some film festivals and the smaller ones, of course. Most of my work is at Cannes Film Festival, but now
cool.
those smaller ones, how do you, and the amount of submissions is mind boggling. How are you, obviously there's you got to have some volunteer help with this. I mean, how do you go through?
Yeah, is there like a cut? Is there a like a cut process? Like
how do you go through 5,000 projects? You got to have friends, family. Like, what do we do? It's hard.
Yes, everybody I've ever known. So right now, it's intentionally a mostly manual process, although there will be some automation built into it shortly. But the way that I built this was based on what I call a board of champions, and their goal is to champion projects into existence. And so what happens is, let's say that you're on the board of champions, and so you'll get an alert on your phone, a text or whatever, and it'll say, oh, there are 3 new submissions. You can log in from a special portal on your side and you can pick anyone you want to watch. And so this notification can go around to 100, 200, 300 different people on the board of champions, and they can pick to watch whatever they want. And as soon as it gets 5 thumbs up or 5 thumbs down, and it can be a random selection of people watching it, then it automatically goes into the queue, because we're not looking for opinions. We already have stuff on the site that I wouldn't necessarily watch myself, but it's high quality stuff, and it's got an opportunity. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give, you know, the way that legacy Hollywood is always focused at the bottom of the funnel. They're focused on what's getting distribution, what's winning film festivals. I'm focused at the top of the funnel, you know, all this great stuff that's up there, all the stuff that doesn't make it out there. And so we're trying to help those people.
I know I've been to myself. I think I've been to, when we did Beer League originally, the movie, we did a short called Game Day. And we went to, I think, Rhode Island. I think it was like Atlantic City. We won a couple of awards here and there. But we go into these sessions, and it would sometimes not be that many people in the theater. And I'd be like, what kind of shit is this? You know? And all of a sudden, these awesome shorts, and 10-minute, 15-minute things. I remember sitting there being like, this is awesome. And then sometimes I'd meet the filmmaker, and I would be like, because I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, what do you? And it was like, I never saw the guy again, never saw the film again. Like, it's like, I tell people all the time. And now, of course, this was some years back. So now with iPhones, everybody and their brother thinks they're a network and a Spielberg. But there's some awesome work out there by, you know, listen, I'm pro-union, Screen Actors Guild, but there's a lot of non-union, low-level producers that are producing some really, really cool shit. Even if you said a keyword, not your cup of tea, and I respect that, because half the shit on Netflix, I'm like, I don't want to watch that. But yet you find out it's in the top 10. I love the fact that it's kind of, there could be really anything up there, because the world is not everybody likes projects, it's just different strokes for different folks, I guess. I love that aspect of it.
And here I'll help turn this back to the foundational sports metaphor for you. And that is, we're building a pipeline that is essentially like the NCAA for the professional leagues. We're cultivating the talent. We're building a pipeline to let them play and to develop their talent. And and the reason we're doing that is because at the end of that pipeline, is draft day, where the professional leagues are going to be able to pick up that rookie contract, for pennies on the dollar, that they're never going to be able to get again. We're doing all the work in cultivating that. We're willing to roll up our sleeves, and we'll go even back before that. We'll go to the schoolyards and watch the elementary school kids play and see who's going to be the next Jordan, the next LeBron, the next Aaron Judge or Jeter.
Right.
A shout out to the Jeter fathead that's on my kid's wall right now. We're developing that pipeline so that there's a constant stream back to the studios, because look, the networks and the studios, the streamers, they're spending tens of billions of dollars every single year in developing new content, and they've created an unsustainable model for themselves. Their own success is the weight that's on them now, because they've taught us all to watch and binge 24/7, and the math doesn't work. It takes them months and years and billions of dollars to create the stuff that we watch in minutes or hours. How can you sustain that? So there needs to be a pipeline, because content only comes from two places. It comes from the future or it comes from the past, which is why you will see, Seinfeld and everything. It's why I can watch you on Entourage. I hope I'm pointing in the right direction.
Dave wasn't on Entourage.
Yeah, but I've watched it about 15 times through. So yeah, the whole every eight or nine seasons or whatever it was.
So
I'm curious now. Can I interest you in an independent professional wrestling company to stream on your site? Because listen, there's the independent. All right, I just want to break it down like this. Independent wrestling is what I'm involved in, right? But everybody knows what WWE is. Everybody knows what AEW is, like these major powerhouses that are on Netflix or TNT or HBO Max or all these major platforms. Is there a market for like smaller budget sporting events or, stuff like that, where they're like, if they throw it on YouTube, they're going to make 8 cents in 3 years? You know what I mean? Like, is there a market for that as well with you guys?
Yeah, one of the things that we do, we're looking to help you find your audience. We don't care how big the audience is. You might have 10 million people, you might have 10,000 people. It doesn't matter to us. What matters is helping you find your audience. And so if, let's say that you created a show and it's sitting around on YouTube doing nothing, and you bring it to us and you say, let's stream it. And we say, okay, we're going to do this. Let's say you created 10 episodes of your show, and let's say each episode is 10 minutes long. So we're going to give you the $800 up front for each of your 10 episodes. All right. So now you've gotten $8,000 for that. And if we see that there's an audience developing for it, we will say to you, okay, if we give you $2,500 per episode, I want you to go create 5-minute episodes, or $5,000 for 10-minute episodes. Now, some people are going to be able to do that. And there's a model that works there. Some people are still creating content at $500,000 an episode or $10 million an episode, and that's out of our wheelhouse. But the answer is, if you've got a show that a little bit of money and an audience can help grow, then absolutely that's something we're interested in, because our goal is to help get your content out there. That's what we're trying to do.
I like that.
And you know what? There are going to be some really interesting opportunities coming out. I mean, I'll tell you, I'll use Beer League as an example. You're making these short episodes for Beer League. And so imagine if you were to go to, you go to the movies one night, and let's say that there's a night at the movie theater that's not traditional movie stuff. Let's say you go and there's a night of episodic content. What if you go and pay your ticket and go to the movies and watch 5 episodes of Beer League? What if you go and you watch a traditional film, and before it, there's a 5-minute Beer League episode that appears before it? It's like there are going to be so many opportunities. So as it relates to the sports content, there's huge audiences for that. I mean, better than I do. And so, of course, there's, we would love the opportunity to help out.
There you go. Now, what other, you said, you mentioned you're going to be doing inside movie theaters, which is cool for marketing. What other marketing strategies are you using? Anything unique besides, obviously, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and all that stuff? What other marketing strategy are you using for the site and maybe individual films?
Yeah, so we're we promote everything that's on the site, and so by default, we're promoting the site because of that. The only time occasionally we'll run something where it's a whole bunch of things cut together, but we promote each of the shows. Yes, on social media, of course. Some of the other places that we're doing it, we will have the pre-roll ads, at the movie theaters. We'll do some traditional print stuff, or digital things, industry stuff like Variety and Hollywood dailies and stuff like that. So we'll do that. We also are going to do some celebrity cameos, the ones that you can, any company can go and buy a celebrity cameo. Maybe I can buy you guys. So some celebrity cameos and do that.
I come cheap.
We also have some really cool stuff happening with film festivals. So we're going to sponsor categories at film festivals and give out awards at film festivals, specifically trying to promote content that we can convert into episodic, because that's a little bit more commercial. It's, the streaming platforms are looking for bingeable content. So you mentioned, the high quality shorts that are out there. If I see a great 15-minute short, I'm going to go back to that filmmaker and I'm going to say, can we turn this into a 10-episode series? Can you turn this into a series? Each one is 3 to 5 minutes long, and we'll make 10 of those. I mean,
Right.
we've got Tom's checked out, and we're getting ready to, green light that second season. We hope he agrees to, which I think maybe he has already. So
he just has to answer the phone. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's
poor
another.
Tom.
Tom's catching strays here at Shea.
Tom's getting up. Listen, me and Tom we were working last night on the script. So I guess it was like midnight or whatever. And he's like, Jimmy, I got to go to bed. His mom had some, he was dealing with his mother and some issues there and his family. And all of a sudden we're doing like dick jokes for beer league at midnight. All of a sudden he's like, Jimmy, we got to stop. I'm out. I was like, okay, go to bed. So Tom, we love you if you're listening. What else I wanted to ask? So and also to me, we're going to be promoting the shit out of Beer League, which then promotes Watts 213 TV. So all the filmmakers, everybody's got to be promoting their stuff, because one of the things that we have our cast, we're going to try to have a Zoom read through. One of the things I got to hammer home, I didn't quite hammer it home last time we did some stuff. Like when these things exist on the interweb, okay? Some actors, and I maybe was this way at one point, I'm not now because I deal with Dave Sturcio. If you do something, you have to promote it on your social medias. Even if you only have 30 people on your social medias, a lot of actors tend to they do work and then they just they walk away from it. And it's like, I want to be telling everybody hey, crew, casting, Dave Sturcio, Jimmy Palumbo, everybody involved, 213 TV, everyone's got to promote this, because that's how it gets more eyeballs. And that's how it creates, A, people back to your site, and B, actors get to their work seen by other people. And there has to be everyone really has, I'm literally almost, I wish we can get them to sign a contract. You will post about this. You'd be amazed how many actors don't promote their work.
I think part of that might be that they're individually maybe not proud of the job. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's the right or wrong thing to do.
I get that if you do a shitty project, but you know what? I go back and look at, this is where I can be a jerk off and see if Dave.
Oh, this is it. This is just the one instance.
See if Mr. Sonkin here will agree. I laugh. I forget how long I've been doing this, right? I forget to look on the back of my baseball card, not Butch Weiniger's, and all of a sudden these people, sometimes showbiz people, get weird with me, and then I'll go on their IMDb and I'll be like, this guy hasn't done shit. and here I am in the league 35 years, 11 teams, and all of a sudden I'm promoting this. Why aren't you promoting this? If it's quality work and stuff like that. So I love the aspect that everybody's going to be promoting everything, and it goes to one central site. That's not YouTube, where a buyer can buy it,
Yeah, you actually, your genius just came out without you even realizing it, perhaps. We actually have built something that we haven't launched yet in the site, which we encourage the filmmakers to put in all the cast and the crew and to put in their social media handles. But what we've been building into the site is this automated process where the site will find everybody and it will play 6 Degrees of Separation automatically, and it will start to self-promote and self-connect everybody with everything. And and for example, I was watching a submission on one of our projects that just went live yesterday, called Kensington, and I'm actually watching the submission, and I often have multiple screens going at the same time, and filmmakers forgive me for doing this, but I got a lot of stuff to watch. And I was watching a submission at the same time I was watching an episode of Younger, and for those of you that think that might not be in my wheelhouse, I apologize. But I was watching an episode of Younger.
Very popular show, by the way.
Never heard of it.
And the guy on the film submission from this independent filmmaker was the same guy on the screen over here, and I'm like, wow, we have to promote that. We have to promote that he is currently on this show that's on the main screen of this major streaming platform. So anyway, the idea is that the system is going to do what you just said, which is once the filmmaker encourages all the cast and crew to have their handles in there, the system is actually going to start cross-promoting things automatically, constantly, and so it's going to help everybody be more efficient.
That's very, very cool. Well, listen, I think it's now you there was a rumor, and not Butch Weininger rumor. There was a rumor that you were gonna maybe be on the East Coast next week. Is that?
It is a rumor, and actually, there's a tab open on my computer right now for my flights that I'm trying to book, because it's been a little while since I've been in Jersey, so I thought it was high time to get there.
All right. Well, I hope to see you on the set. That would be really cool. Obviously, we're shooting Monday and Tuesday, you know that, and we'll probably go grab a bite to eat Monday night. So if you're around, or Tuesday, but either way, I'd love to grab a bite with you. That would be really cool. Well, everybody, watch. It's Watch 213 T. It's www.watch213tv.com. Am I getting that right?
Yes.
You added. I know Dave hates when I do the www, but at
least
I'm not saying WWE. But I think it's great. I appreciate you very much for hopping in bed with us to try to do this beer league thing. And you have a vested interest, as do I. And I look forward to see if we can shoot some cool shit on Monday and Tuesday and slap it on 213 TV and rock and roll with it. I'm really looking forward to that.
It's going to be an awesome show. I'm so excited about what you're doing. You know that already, but I'm telling everybody out there, it's insanely cool what you're doing. So, by the way,
I'm not really sure about Artie Lang just yet for private reasons, but Ralph Macchio is definitely not out of the mix, and neither is Joe Latrulio or Cara Buono. I'm personal friends with these people, and none of them said no. They didn't say yes, but they were like, let me see what you got going on over there. So we need to shut everybody out with it, scatter 8 hits and kick ass on Monday and Tuesday. And then there's always a chance to get my boy Ralph back involved. And Artie, of course, Artie is Beer League, and he's welcome back. And Artie can show up Monday, and Tom and I will call a timeout, rewrite it, and Artie will go right on, of course. And Joe Latrulio played Dave, and Cara Buono, who's big now with Stranger Things and all that stuff. So she's also became friendly with me. So some of the original cast members that are not dead will be hopping in as we move forward. So I'm looking forward to that too. What I really want to do, there's part of me that wants to shove it up everybody's ass, because I know I made some phone calls and people like, and I'm hoping that this thing goes our way, and I know my phone will be ringing off the hook. Oh, you doing more?
Usually how it works.
So, but listen, David Sonkin from Queens with WatchTV.com, Watch213tv.com. I'll get it right eventually. I look forward to seeing you. Hope maybe next week. And I look forward to doing many other. Me and Tom got 2 or 3 things in the pipeline that we're all ready to pitch and launch to you and get them up there and all that other stuff.
I am super excited. I'm hoping to see you next week. And Dave, please, if you got some cool stuff, submit that. Love to take a look.
Might have to. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Love you, man. I'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right,
see you next week. Bye-bye.
All right.
All
David
right.
Sonkin, cool dude. Crazy stuff he's been involved with, especially on that mobile stuff when nobody was doing it. Now this unique 213 TV thing, which is really cool. And all of this is brought to you by Absolute Eyewear. Getting involved here. Craig and Janine Michaud, opticians, optometrists.
Oh boy.
I'm blowing everything today. You got to go down to Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-3937. They got everything over there. They hang out with Charles Oakley. Go down there and get all your glasses. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing some of their shit right now. And go there. It's shit your eyes need.
Wow.
At Absolute Eyewear. Go check it out. They're great. I promise you, you'll love them and all that stuff. Now, we decided to do. First of all, it's wild how I got lucky because next Thursday, Rutgers opens up their football season, and this is the part that Pat Volkamer hates of the show just because she's stupid. College football starts next weekend, which is really awesome, and I have a wedding to go to Saturday, and the Rutgers game got switched to Thursday, and I'm like, yes, I can go. However, there are some. If you're a college football fan, I don't know if you've noticed some of the games that are on. Saturday.
Well, let's go to the tape here. Let's go to the videotape as we bring up the Rutgers
Scarlet
Knights schedule.
Let's give a shout out to Dave Sturcho. He is just graphically designed here.
Yeah, well,
all fans 18 and over come out to see Dave Sturcho. Now that he'll be in bed with 213 TV here. All right. Well, listen, the Rutgers. Here's the deal with Rutgers this year. I'm actually, for the first time ever, I'm going to be positive about the McScarlet Knights. And here's why. To me, Rutgers season really is, it's a 7-game season. I don't care what anybody says. It's a 7-game season. Here's why. We open up with 3 very winnable games. Ohio, Miami of Ohio, and Norfolk State. Michael Vick's Norfolk State. Now, I happen to think
Michael Vick went to Virginia Tech.
He coaches them, though, now.
Oh.
I happen to think the Ohio game is a very tough game. They got a really good quarterback. Opening game, kids don't know what they're doing. First college game. Matter of fact, it's no longer Saturday, August 30th. It's the 28th.
Whatever. I grabbed this off the line.
You got the old one. So, and we really have a really good chance. I could say that as a Rutgers fan. We could lose. Rutgers can lose. Listen, I saw them lose to Villanova. I saw them lose to New Hampshire. Rutgers could lose to me and Dave 11-2. But we'll be favored. We really could win the first 3 games. Unfortunately, the back 2 games, in my opinion, are unwinnable. It's at Ohio State and Penn State. Okay, so there's the first 3. There's the back 2. That's 5. What do you do with the middle 7? Now, couple of games last year, Rutgers, I got so pissed off at the UCLA and USC game. My mind got fried in that we were like the Illinois game. We lost on the last play of the game. The Nebraska game was 14-7. We lost games by 3. We lost some close games in there. And I personally think that this Shiano now 2.0, it's, hey, man, it's time, brother. Everybody mocks out Deion Sanders, but I don't know. Colorado sells out every game. They win games now. There's excitement. There's people talking about Colorado, which they haven't in 30 years. And Rutgers is in the Big Ten, much tougher. I get it, but I think one of the early big games is the blackout game on September 20th against Iowa, and I think they're going to beat Iowa. I really do. For one really main, and this is a common theme you're going to hear throughout this whole thing. Our quarterback, I think Ethan, and I'm going to see if I can get it, Kalikamanis, okay?
Good try.
I'll call him Ethan because the last name's pain in the ass. I think, and people are going to hate me for this, I think if Ethan was on any other of the Big Ten teams as their starting quarterback, their ranking would be the same. If he was the starting quarterback at Penn State, they'd be ranked number 2. If he was at Ohio State, I think he's that good. I think he's underrated. The kid throws a really nice ball. He's got legs. Our defense sucked last year. This kid can play, I'm telling you. And a little bit for Rutgers level, he can play. I get all that. I do. But I think we're going to beat Iowa at home, which will put us at 4-0. And then we play Minnesota. And I think we can win that game. So I do. I think Rutgers going to be 5-0, and that'll create some excitement. But then we got to go.
So then you got to go 1-6 down the stretch.
But however,
find the win.
Then you got to go at Washington.
Yeah, we beat
I don't know. Plane rides over there. The kids, they're going to lose to Washington. We beat them at home last year, but I think we're going to lose there. And here's the kicker for me. We played 3 supposedly unwinnable games: Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon. Schiano is so overdue to dog somebody. I'm telling you. And I think just like we're going to lose to Washington, I think Oregon's got to come to New Jersey. They've never been here. They're going to have I just think they're going to be like, what is this, landing at Newark Airport? This little stadium only holds 50,000. And I think we're going to bounce the Nikes right there. I think we're going to beat Oregon. I do.
Wow.
That's my big upset right there. And then we play at Purdue. And I think we're going to win that game too. Purdue's just not that good. Sorry.
So now you're at 7 wins already.
Okay. Here's the problem though. Now we got to go to at Illinois.
So we're bowl eligible by Halloween, is what you're saying.
Here's where it goes to shit. We got to go at Illinois. I love that coach. I think they're going to be good. The game was close last year. I think we're going to lose that game, and I think we're going to beat Maryland. I do.
Got 8 wins.
Yep, 8 wins, and then we're going to lose the last 2 and finish 8-4. Now,
that's optimism.
Very optimistic.
That's very out of character for Jimmy Palumbo.
Okay.
Here.
Here's a couple of fun things for you asshole Rutgers fans out there. Ohio State and Penn State, right? They're ranked. We play 3 teams in the top 7, by the way. Okay. That's tough. However, Ohio State plays Penn State before Rutgers plays either one of them. Okay. So one of them's going to have a loss. That's if they're.
All right, okay. I understand where you're going with this, and there was a lot of comments because we did preview this very vaguely a couple weeks back. There were comments saying that Ohio State and Penn State, now that there's an expanded playoff, that 2 losses they can still get in.
Okay. No.
But if they lose to Rutgers,
exactly right. I'll tell you why. Because it'll be late. And I don't
Somebody's going to be scratching and clawing to get in.
Listen, you can't tell me if Ohio State or Penn State gets bounced by Rutgers for their second loss, they're gone. And keep in mind,
man, it's still hard to even fathom that they leave off Ohio State or Penn State out of the playoffs.
But that's the beauty of it for Rutgers fans. We'll be at 8-2. We'll very much enjoying our season. Here comes the 2 big dogs coming in. But you got to remember, Oregon plays those guys as well. So there's a possibility that either one of them could have 2 losses. And if you lose, if you get number 3 in Piscataway,
you're out.
I think you should be eliminated this year and 3 years after you can't play. So for a
3-year penalty for losing the Rutgers.
Yeah, Penn State lose the Rutgers. What a shame. They will not go to a bowl now until 2029. So at least for a fan, though, and by the way, for the fan, it's really, at the kickoff. So in other words, Ohio State comes in with 1 loss or 2 losses. We don't know. We'll say 1 loss or undefeated. Either way, Rutgers fans win. If Ohio State's undefeated, that's cool. Late in the season, right? Blah, blah, blah. If they got 1 loss, hey, you lose to Rutgers, you could be bounced because LSU won the last 7 in a row. You know how that goes. Mm-hmm. And the same thing goes for Penn State. So at the kickoff of each of those games, you could definitely be fired up because it's going to be cold.
I have a question, though. In that first 4-game stretch, which as long as I've known you, Jimmy, and all the Rutgers games that we've been together already, I feel like it's always a cupcake 3-4 start, right? Like always. Right. If, and this is a big if, and it's an if I don't even want to address, but if they slip up and lose to any of those first 4 teams, this season could go off the rails.
Oh, no question. No question about that. But you got to remember, last year we were 4-0 and it kind of went off the rails. So
no, I know, but it also like, listen, you're beating notable teams, and I'm not saying notable as regarded to their ranking. I'm saying notable as people know who Ohio is. People know who Miami of Ohio is. You were beating Linden last year, and
I'll tell you what. I'll go through something here. I subscribe to that Massey ratings of the combination of everybody and their brother who has a poll. Mm-hmm. And when I look at that, we're ranked 51 preseason poll. You know what Ohio's ranked? 66. And everybody's like, oh, we'll roll. That's close. So that Ohio game, and then Miami of Ohio is only 79. So like they're closer to Rutgers than we are to the top 25. So though I don't think those games are easy at all. And those Ohio teams tend to be a pain in the ass. Big Midwestern teams, always well coached. The Norfolk State game, again, you don't know what Michael Vick's doing with them down there. But we'll overpower. That's really our only game we, to me, are guaranteed to win. But yeah, we got to beat both Ohio teams. Of course, Rutgers so skillful at their schedule. Let's play everybody from Ohio, 3 games against Ohio teams. And then you got Iowa, but it's a blackout game. Friday night, you've been to one of those games. People
they're
are
great.
Fired up, and it's on a Friday. The tougher games to me are like at Minnesota. They're ranked 30th right now. Washington's ranked 34th. I think we're going to get beat. Oregon's ranked 6th. Purdue is like 106. That's why I think we can win that game on the road. But Illinois is ranked 28th. Maryland 64, and then Ohio State and Penn State are at 2 and 4, according to that cumulative poll, which I think is always deadly accurate.
Right.
In a way, just like my NFL stinks list, you know who stinks and who's pretty good.
Right.
It's just a matter of where they land. So this is probably the most optimistic. I really think this is the best Rutgers team we've had in a long time. I think maybe this is the year where Schiano, with his third, offensive coordinator in place for a couple of years now, and a quarterback. Like last year, our quarterback, we never saw this kid play except at Minnesota. Now this kid, he's like a leader.
The problem is too, because of who they are and where they play. I feel like Rutgers could be like 10-0 going into those last 2 games.
And finish 10-2, and we all think they suck.
Right, and then there's no playoff in sight. Like, there's not even a ranking in the top 25. Like, it's just weird because you beat up some teams that you should be beating up anyway.
Listen, I've been saying this for years. And people laugh at me, but I think there's truth to it. And you're the perfect customer for what I'm about to say. If Rutgers won 5 national championships in a row and then started 0-2, that 6th season, there'd be 35,000 people there for the Purdue game. It's a pro town. And in September, Yankees, Mets, as the season goes on, the Knicks, Islanders, Devils. I mean, a guy in his wallet's only got so many dollars to spread around.
Right.
And of course, the NFL is a beast. Cowboy fans, Giant fans, Jet fans. And we're just not in the middle of Penn State. We're not in the middle of Iowa. I mean, it's very hard Penn State and Notre Dame and Georgia, their great-grandfather, they were huge fans. Rutgers, we were playing, Carteret, Linden, and Fairfield, and so we just don't have the fan base for it. We're new to the Big Ten. It takes years, decades, lifetimes, really. But I also say that Rutgers sports is, I think, by far, I would love to someone to do a deep dive on this. I think they're by far in the Power 4. They're by far the most unsuccessful college sports program. All sports, no doubt. We don't win shit. I mean, even at 8-4, you just said 8-4, right?
You said 8-4.
No, so you mentioned 8-4. Hey, Jimmy, You're being positive. LSU, you go 8-4, you lose your job. I mean, you do.
8-4 over here, they get a fucking statue built.
Get a statue. So
you get a suite right next to LeGrand.
That's it. That's how. And someday when I do, I just found out that Chris Gucci and Dave Sergio are on the starting lineup for Rutgers basketball.
Easy.
Easy. So wait till the preview for Rutgers basketball comes in, which we're in for.
No more Harper, no more Bailey. I can't even imagine. I get. You know what? Hot take. We might be better off. You never know.
Well, I think we're going to be more fun to watch. We're going to stink. But anyway, I got Rutgers at 8-4 here at Shea.
Wow. I tell you what, much like in my life, I want one more Super Bowl while my dad is with me. Right? Like, because I just want that feeling of just knowing that, it's just something special. I now want, as ranked number 2 on my wants before I'm dead list, I want to be standing there next to you when Rutgers wins a really, really unbelievable game where nobody under the sun has Rutgers playing. And I think
if you were at that Louisville game with me, bro, you would have lost your mind.
Oh, I mean, I lost my mind at the Woodbridge Fridays, the TGI Fridays. My buddy was standing on the bar top, which you can't do because I have low ceilings. So he's like squatting. He's like, right. We're going nuts. And he goes, let's go there. And I'm like, you're fucking nuts. What do you mean let's go there? He's like, let's go to Rutgers right now. And I'm like, okay. So we got in the car, and when we got into campus, it was a fucking
It was great.
melee.
It was
incredible.
But unfortunately, that was like 2006.
Yeah, I think I was just fresh out of college.
I know, it's like even that. Our biggest win is like something that happened 18 years ago, and we lost the last 2 out of 3. It's like it all went to shit. But 8-4. Put it this way, I don't think. Okay, positive 8-4. I don't see how we get 9. You know what I mean? So I'm really.
It's funny because a couple of the losses you gave him, I'm sitting there like, you know, like it's like. But again, for me to be a believer in the Rutgers Scarlet Knights this season in particular, not only do they got to go 4-0, right? They got to go 4-0. You know what I mean? Like none of these, like, oh, we won by a field goal today. You know, we won on the last second. They got to go out there, make their mark immediately.
Well, they have to create excitement for the Iowa game where there's something going on. But even that though, another thing I will say about Rutgers, say we shit the bed. Why is it that if we say we lose the beginning, we lose to Iowa and Minnesota, let's say, so now we're 3-2. What I hate, I don't let the season go away. Like. Make me want to go, make me not rake the leaves, not go pumpkin picking, and go to a game, which you get stuck with, and and do that. I just think it can be done, but it's going to be fun.
We'll see.
We shall see. Scarlet Ignites, and don't forget OxyMagicUSA.com. Dave with the point up there. OXY Magic USA, and rumor has it that you got involved with Oxy Magic USA, Dave.
Yeah, last week they came.
There you go. Before the show, we talked about it on the show already.
The carpet was drying. Yeah, as we were doing the show, the carpet was drying.
All right,
they were fantastic. In and out.
They're great. I need them.
The house smelled amazing afterwards. It was just like a nice, clean, fresh.
My carpet looks like the floor of a Molly Hatchet concert right now, so I got to get that
fucking Hatchet.
Molly fucking Hatchet. So go check that out. Also, real quick, of course, tonight. I know where Dave's going to be glued to the set of.
Well, actually, I got an MRI scheduled tonight for a ultrasound stress test. They want to check my heart and make sure
I guess I should.
So after I got to do that before I watch this shit, because if I watch Jerry Jones and America's Gambler or whatever the fuck they're calling it,
there's a big documentary on the Dallas Cowboys on Netflix coming out tonight. It's 8 episodes. I did a deep dive on it. And I'm so angry at this because even though I'm not a Cowboy fan, these documentaries come out, and whenever they're kind of produced by the people that are the documentaries about, like that Jordan one, which was shit, if you ask me.
You didn't like the Last Dance?
Oh my God. It was it was a promo piece for Michael Jordan. Of
course it was. It's Michael Jordan.
Well, that's the thing. So you think the Dallas Cowboys, and I know you're a fan, I think you would like to see really, because of your frustrations.
Well, yeah, because I said it. Sometimes, if you're quick to the draw, and this is something I recommend you do to grow your Instagram following, when you're free, right? Like if you're the first comment on a massive post by Netflix, by the Cowboys, you're gonna get some real recognition. Okay, so last night or 2 nights ago on Instagram. The caption was like, buckle up. I think it was Netflix Sports and Netflix, 2 of the biggest Instagram pages in the world.
Right.
And they put out, buckle up, it's time. And it was a preview of the documentary. I was the first one to comment.
Oh,
and
wow.
I said, pay Micah Parsons or nobody's going to watch this shit. And I got 1,500 likes within fucking 3 minutes. And I was like, and it's true though. It's hard for me. Even my father, man, we're sitting up at the pool the other day and he's like, man, he's openly admitting to not really giving a shit about the fan base. And it's like, he really just cares about his $5 billion. And he goes, who cares what it's worth, because he's not going to sell it. So what difference does it make?
Right.
He's going to die. He's going to give it to his kids and all this other shit. Like
listen, you select Parsons in the draft and he's been, I'm going to say he's been pretty good his career. You got to write a check for this guy. What are you going to do? Wait for an LSU linebacker next year to make that happen?
I don't know.
You gotta. The
problem is it's twofold, Jimmy. It's like it's a mindset. It's like, okay, I understand where the Joneses are coming from because of the old school mentality. It says, hey, last year we picked up your 5th-year option. That means you're under contract with the Dallas Cowboys to play this year. right? You have that you want to get paid by us, you got to play. Micah, on the other hand, saying, well, I can also blow out my knee and never have another dollar come my way. So I need this extension, right? So that's where that's the cross. The Joneses are set on saying, hey, you're under contract, and they can franchise tag him 2 more years. So he could be under contract for the Cowboys for 3 years. You tell me he's going to sit out and just bullshit his way through this thing? It's going to get ugly. It's going to get messy. And I don't know, man. Part of me thinks that
I know.
Divorce. I don't know.
And also, in the history of sports, again, another deep dive, Chat GPT here. Whenever someone holds out and they don't get going, it's so many times it seems like A, their hamstring goes, B, the team goes 0-2, and then all of a sudden it's your fault, even though it may not be his fault. And like
Emmett Smith held out. Emmett Smith now held out in 1993 for 2 games. The Cowboys started off 0-2. He signed in week 3, and they won the fucking Super Bowl.
Right. Well,
so
that's it does go that way sometimes.
Right. But I'm saying, like, I say if you want to get like Micah Parsons is talking out of both sides of his mouth. Last night, somebody put out a tweet saying Jaden Daniels is out there throwing the rock in the second preseason game. Why is he out there? He's the franchise quarterback. And he goes, oh, my generation's so soft. He should be out there. He should be. Like, this is Micah now talking. And I'm like, wait, you're on the sidelines with a back tightness. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know. I don't.
Makes me nuts.
Matter of fact, you said something on the show, and we got to wrap up here a couple weeks ago. I remember guys were already cut now, but they don't make cuts till
the cut day is next Tuesday.
Which and that gives everybody about 10 days before the opening day. There's so many players, but I think some players, I guess you can get away with certain guys not playing, but I think guys got to go in for a couple series. I mean,
well, that's the thing, man. Like, what has Dak Prescott? And I love Dak; he's my favorite player. But like, what has he done and accomplished to warrant him not playing a preseason game since 2019?
Yeah, I that would make me.
Joe Burrow's out there, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Josh Allen's out there. They're all out there doing their thing in the preseason to get those reps, those live reps. Not Dak. We don't need it. We don't need it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Let me know. Let me know if you don't need it. Like,
you know me, the guy on the couch.
I know. I'm slowly but surely turning into that guy.
You're becoming me. Of course. Does anybody know if Giancarlo Stanton is starting today? Or they're going to?
I don't know. They might want to bench him for too good of play. Who knows at this point?
Listen,
we swept over the weekend. They're starting to click a little bit. So you want to just see how they go. This is a big week of baseball for them. Yeah. They got Tampa. They got Boston. These games are pivotal.
We are due to uppercut Boston.
I think so too.
They've owned us a little bit, so that'll be fun. Giancarlo last night with Sunday with a pinch hit, draw a 3-2 walk. He's by far their best hitter. Give Lisa Ruane a call 201-725-1251 if you're.
The Rutgers season is just around the corner. You might want to call her.
You might want to call her and say, "I need help. I need help." That'll do it here. What else? We'll be shooting Beer League. Dave will be there. We're going to be shooting. We're going to be literally probably Monday afternoon. We're going to post some stuff from the set. Maybe do a Facebook Live thing. I don't know. We got to jerk around with that best we can. I, of course, will be acting in it. It's got to learn my lines. But Johnny Trino is back, ladies and gentlemen. And a big shout out to Watch213TV.com and David Sonkin. He was a great guest. Very interesting stuff.
Awesome. Yep.
And Tom Boldinger, we're just busting you. We love you.
Yes,
all right. That's it.
All right, folks. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.